first evictee from the Big Brother house 2018 is...
India.
I'm not gonna lie to you right now. This video is about to be long as fuck. So I'm gonna put timestamps in the description so you can like skip to the, you know, to the days or whatever that you want to hear about, because I'm going all the way back. I'm going all the way back to day 6. Day 6. The housemates are talking about gay people in football. Then Courtney kind of starts talking about some of the straight guys she's hooked up with. She said that one time she was doing a rugby calendar with these straight guys and she went home with Mr. July. When she got to the hotel room or wherever they were gonna fuck, he was like, look, I've never really done this before. Can I just bottom? Can you put it in me? And I was like, oh my God, that's so true. A lot of times when you hook up with straight guys for the first time, they always want to bottom. They always want to bottom. It's weird because you would think they would want to top for the first time, considering that's what they're used to, whatever. Like, so we get to the task, and the men had to prove that they could lie, because the stereotype is that men can't lie. So the first fact that they had to lie about, each of the men had to lie, was that this person almost got into a fight with P. Diddy. So they all went around, told their little lies. Turns out it was Shane who was telling the truth. Shane almost got into a fight with P. Diddy back in the day. The next fact was that this person almost got, this person shat their pants while waiting in, I can't remember what they called it, but it's like the equivalent to the emergency room here. They call it something. We call it the ER. They call it something else. I can't remember what it was. But that person was Andrew. Andrew shat his pants at the ER place. This person's hidden talent was dancing like Michael Jackson. All the men do their little dances. They all do each a different dance. They all do pretty well. And it was Dapper Laughs Daniel who was telling the truth. He can actually do a little Michael Jackson type move. This man said that his favorite thing about being a man is that his boobs don't sag and that he can see his own orgasms. It was Wayne. He said it when he was younger or some shit like that. So that was it for that part of the task. A little bit later, we see Genuine and Ashley and Johnny, and they're all at the kitchen table talking about Donald Trump. And Genuine's just like, I can't believe how he won. How did he win? How did that happen? And then Ann is like, well, look at the alternative, which is like, Ann, oh my God, like, shut up, girl. Like, but she does say, what she said is what a lot of people thought in the United States, is what a lot of people were thinking. Like, look at the alternative, Hillary Clinton. Yes, anything is fucking better than Trump. If it's fucking Trump versus anyone, you vote for that anyone. It doesn't matter. You just fucking don't vote for Trump. I'm not going to get into it, but yeah. So this is when we see Andrew get in drag for the first time with the help from Courtney. You know, she does his whole transformation. He looks amazing. He looks like a real working, legit drag queen. Like, he could go out and like get so many tips and make so much money. Just from what her little, I don't even know how long she took on him, but he looked amazing. The only thing though that kind of irked me was I wish he had been wearing heels, but I mean, he probably couldn't get any heels, you know, in his size, so whatever. But yeah, he looked great. There were so many like amateur, like upcoming drag queens who would fucking kill to have Courtney do their makeup. And like, so the fact that Andrew got that done is like really cool. He should really be thankful for that. India is talking about how she's going to be scared to see Andrew. And Malika is like, girl, if you're scared, just leave the room. Like, you don't have to be confronted with your fears. If someone's putting you in a situation you don't want to be in that's making you feel uncomfortable, leave. No one is forcing you to fucking be here. Like, if you have a phobia of drag queens, leave. Go into the bathroom. Go to the different room. Go into the diary room. Fucking see a psychiatrist or some whatever. Go talk to someone. If you really, really legit have like a phobia of something, don't just sit there and like, you know. Oh my God, I think someone's breaking into my house. So yeah, you know, Andrew slash Betty Swallows comes out, debuts, and India's freaking out and sitting on the couch, and she has a little hat on, and she's just like hiding in the corner, and like it's like whatever. So she leaves, she goes into the bedroom, she gets in bed. A little bit later, Andrew gets out of drag and he goes and tries to talk to India in the bedroom, who has her head under the covers still, and she's not really trying to talk or whatever. So he storms out, has a cigarette, And this is something that we are going to keep seeing. Andrew leaving and having a smoking rant session out in the garden where he just bitches and doesn't really talk to people to their face. He just, you know, a lot of bitching. In the garden, we're going to see that a lot. Day 7 is the day that is the talent show. Yes, the day that is the talent show. So, before all that, though, Courtney was in the bathroom, or I think she was in the bathroom, or maybe she was in the kitchen or somewhere, and she was talking about India to the other housemates, kind of just like trying to explain India to the other housemates. And she was saying that how a lot of times when people transition genders, they go through maybe like the first couple of years, they go through what is known, I guess, as the adolescent stage, where they kind of act like a teenager and they act out and they're getting used to their body, they're getting used to their new gender or whatever. And she's telling that to them, which is nice. I appreciate that. I kind of wish Courtney wasn't always like the spokesperson for India or the spokesperson for trans people when India is there. You know, I wish India would speak more about it. But whatever, like, Courtney's intentions are good. She's trying to educate, and she is educating for the people in the house and the viewers at home, blah, 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 blah. So then we see Genuine. He's in the diary room talking about Ashley. And this is kind of when I thought maybe she could... this is when I thought maybe is Ashley using Genuine, because one of her little things on her VT said that she was a DJ. And I thought, well, maybe, you know, she's trying to use Genuine's music connections. Yeah, I think he still has music connections. Maybe she's trying to use his music connections to like get her name out to LA maybe, or something like that. I don't know. But I mean, Genuine and Ashley, they seem into each other. They really legit seem like they're into each other. And yeah, I'll talk about that a little bit later, but I'm not going to go super into it because I don't care that much. Then we see then we see Wayne. And Wayne is leading a dance class in the kitchen, having a good old time. I would definitely be in Wayne's little dance classes. Like, when else are you going to get free lessons from someone who was in the fucking Royal Ballet for free teaching you how to dance? I would be all over those dance lessons. Like, I would be right there in the kitchen trying to learn how to dance right with Wayne. Wayne is just a fucking blast. Every time you see Wayne, he's enjoying himself. He's laughing. He's telling jokes. He's hanging out with Maggie. Maggie and him are a trip. I saw someone on Twitter say that Maggie and Wayne are friendship goals. And I was like, yes, they are fucking friendship goals. They're having so much fun in the house. I love Wayne. I love Maggie. I mean, Amanda. Whatever I just said, Maggie, replaced with Amanda. Wayne and Amanda are having so much fun in that fucking house. So then we see Johnny. He's in the diary room and he's talking about how he kind of wants to be more out there and how he wants to be like more outspoken and more confident and stuff. But when the booze comes out, people start trying to one up each other and they start trying to compete or whatever. And Johnny's like, he's not into that. So that kind of makes him retract a little bit, go back into his shell. And I kind of get that. I understand that too. You don't always want to be competing with someone who just keeps trying to like one up you. And in that moment, I felt like he was talking about Andrew, but he didn't say Andrew, of course, but I could totally see Andrew fitting that description. You know what I'm saying? So then we get to the talk of Meghan Markle, who is the girl that's going to be marrying Prince Harry. I think the younger one is Prince Harry. Like, don't fucking shoot me down if that's the wrong name. I'm sorry. I don't really pay attention to all that. But, and you know, the girls are in the bedroom and they're all talking about it. And they're like, yeah, we love Meghan and blah, blah, blah. Anne, what do you think? And Anne's like, you know, I hate her. She's a bitch. No, she's just like, she said that she's trouble. You know, her background, her attitude, I worry. And then the camera cuts away and someone else, I don't know if it was Ashley or if it was Rachel, but it was not Anne who said she's older than him. She's been married before. And then it cuts back to Anne and Anne says, when I add it all up, I'm uneasy. So Anne's not a fan. Who fucking cares? Like, who cares? I wouldn't have even asked Anne the question because I don't fucking care what Anne thinks about someone else's marriage. Who fucking gives a fuck? So it's a little bit later. Courtney is in the bathroom with some of the guys and she's getting ready for her talent show later, that they're all doing a talent show. She's getting ready and she shows them her tuck, her legendary tuck. They've already seen it when you pulled off your skirt 5 times on launch night. So I don't know why it was a surprise to anyone. But she's showing them her tuck, and you know, they're all like oohing and awing and stuff. Then she kind of, this is when we see her, and she kind of starts telling some of the male housemates how that India, her phobia isn't really that she's scared of drag queens. Her phobia, and Lindsay said this too on her podcast on BB on Blast, Lindsay at Light Up VM. She said this on the podcast. She said India isn't really, in her opinion, in Courtney's opinion, India isn't actually scared of drag queens. She's scared that people will look at her and think drag queen. They'll look at her and think Courtney. So then we get to the talent show. The first person to go is Shane Lynch. Shane Lynch sings one of his songs from Boyzone. It's okay. I mean, it's all right. He does an okay job. I mean, I don't know the song, but fucking Malika and Ashley were sitting there crying. Like, they were crying over the song. The next person to go was Andrew. He juggled because he's a clown. So that's what clowns do, is they juggle. John Barnes, he went up there and he did his "Let's Hear It for England, England" song, which is kind of a bop, not gonna lie. That song is kind of a bop. He was up there dancing, doing his little like things, and Genuine was like dancing back. He was dribbling the ball on his head. India was getting her life though. She was fucking rocking out like she was at a fucking rock concert. She was like loving this. She was loving it, dude. The next person to go was Johnny. He does his pickup lines, or his chat up lines. They call it chat up lines. He does his pickup lines on Rachel, Ann, and Maggie. I gotta be honest, I did not think I was even gonna crack a smile when he did his jokes, but I kind of laughed. I laughed a little bit. I wasn't like dying on the floor, like, you know, fucking holding my stomach laughing, but I was, you know, I giggled maybe once or twice. The next person to go is Wayne. He tap dances. He's a dancer. He kills it. I mean, of course. Dapper, he gets up there and tells his jokes. Then Courtney gets up there and fucking slays the whole game. Like, it's not even fair. It's not even fair. She wrote the song. I'm pretty sure she choreographed the song. She can sing well. She dances well. She looks amazing. The song was cool. She kills it. I mean, she fucking kills it. What can I say? She kills it. Like, there was no competition. She was the clear winner. Oh, Genuine goes after her and sings his song Pony. Can't really hit the high notes anymore. Malika was kind of trying to help him out doing background vocals. Yeah. So Courtney won, and she wins the trophy, which is funny because on Drag Race, when they lose, they get this statue. They get a trophy of RuPaul, but the like overall winner gets the crown, but the losers all get these like trophies. So it's funny that Courtney got a trophy again, but this time she actually won. So then it's later on. I think this is the next day technically because it's live. Yeah, it was live. So this had to have been the next day. They do live nominations. I thought someone was going to get evicted. I thought they were going to do like a quick stunt because no one has really, well, never mind. Yeah, I thought it was just going to be an eviction. You know, Emma, she comes in the house. The audience is, you can hear the audience. They're all there. Emma, she comes in the house, and the women in their last final attempt in having the power will be the only people to nominate. So the first person to nominate was Malika. She's taking all day. She's like looking for names in the envelope. And Emma's like, Malika, bitch, can you please hurry up? Like, we're going to go off air if you do not pick some names. And Malika's like, I'm sorry. I'm trying. Am I going first? I can't. I don't know. So Malika, the first name she picks is Anne. The first housemate she chooses to nominate for eviction is Anne. And her reason is that she feels that everybody is torturing Anne. To which Anne replied, that is not a valid reason for nomination. You must give another reason. And everyone's like, oh my God, Anne, you're so dumb. You don't know what you're talking about. Like,
it isn't. That's not reason. No, that's not a valid reason. Let me get confirmation from Big Brother. Is that a valid reason? That is not a valid reason.
So Emma checks with Big Brother. And Big Brother, I guess, says, no, that's not a valid reason. Then Emma's like, no, actually, that's not a valid reason. So the whole house is shook. They all fucking look back. They're like,
you must give another reason.
She had to explain her reason even more. And Malika is just like, you know, we have to walk on eggshells around Anne, and it's uncomfortable, and I feel like we're torturing her or whatever. So, I mean, she gave the same reason, just with more words. And they let it go, I think, because they were running out of time. So they were like, whatever. And the next person Malika nominates is Andrew. I cannot find where I am. Oh, Andrew, because he left bathroom tissue in the toilet. Okay. The next person to nominate is Rachel. Rachel nominates India. You know, they're just not, no one's really getting along with India for real. She nominates India and Johnny because he's too attractive. Ashley goes next, and she nominates India for the same kind of reasons. And Johnny because she has the least in common with Johnny. India nominates Anne because she doesn't participate in the task, which is total bullshit. Anne is always like, Anne is always doing the task. She's always fucking like first in line and having fun in these tasks. So I thought that was weird. And she also nominates Genuine because he said he did not want to date a trans person. Amanda nominates Johnny because he's on the edge of the group and because he was on Love Island. And she also nominates India. Maggie also nominates India and Johnny. Jess nominates India and Anne. Anne nominates India and Andrew because he is the most laddish one in the house, which I don't know if she meant laddish or annoying, because he definitely is the most annoying one in the house. India and Johnny got the most votes, so India and Johnny are up for eviction that week. It was a vote to save. ... Day 8. We see, you know, everyone waking up, getting ready, blah, blah, blah. Malika is cutting Anne's hair, which is weird because she had just put her up the day before. So it's like, why are you cutting her hair now? But whatever. She's cutting her hair, which is cute. It was a cute little moment. Marcus Bentley. The only person ever to block me on Twitter, Marcus Bentley. India is bringing the conversation back to her favorite subject, Marcus says, which is herself, just being super shady. Like, I'm not feeling the Marcus vibe. If you're gonna get a new, if you want a new like personality to be doing the narrations and shit, then get a new person. Don't fuck up Marcus Bentley. You know, for all of us that know Marcus Bentley and how he does shit, don't try to change Marcus Bentley. Keep Marcus Bentley, Marcus Bentley. And if you want a new voice, a new personality, then get someone else to do it. Don't fucking change the Marcus Bentley voice. So then we see Anne go into the diary room, and this is right after she gets her little makeover done. And, you know, she's feeling herself, and she's talking about how wolf whistling, which they call wolf whistling, we call cat calling, when you go, like, I think that's the same thing as a wolf whistle. We call that cat calling. She is talking about how, you know, it's not really offensive to her, and, you know, how it could kind of make someone feel good. And she's like, you know, I don't get cat called or wolf whistled at anymore, but when I was younger, I guess she would have appreciated it or whatever. And she starts talking about how in some parts of the country they want to make it a fucking hate crime to wolf whistle. Like, what? That's a little too far. That's a little too far. I can see how some women don't feel comfortable with that. I could totally see that. Like, you're just walking down the street, you don't want to like feel like a fucking sexual object. I totally get that. But making it a hate crime, I think that's a little too much. So then we get to the secret task of the day, which is with Malika and Andrew. Malika will be representing the women and Andrew will be representing the men. And they have to get compliments from housemates, swap beds with one of the housemates, and have to recruit one of the housemates to do something mischievous with them. I'm not going to go through it. Andrew did it. They both do it, but Andrew did it in the fastest amount of time, and he therefore wins for the men. I don't know what they won, though. I don't know what they won, but he wins for the men. A little bit later, we see some more Genuine and Ashley showmance stuff. Wayne is telling some of the housemates about how he came out and how he waited until his mom died. He didn't want to come out while his mom was still alive. So he waited until his mom died before he came out. And he said he was like 40 something when he came out to the press, but he was always out before that to like his friends and stuff, which is interesting because even in his VT and in like his bio for this, his VT and his bio stuff said that he was bi. And I mean, I'm not telling anybody what anybody is. Like, whatever you are, you say you are. But Wayne isn't bi. Like, Wayne ain't bi. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. So then a little bit later, still talking about Wayne. Wayne and Rachel were talking about something. I think Wayne was telling Rachel something about someone he knew who had died from AIDS or something like that. And they were talking about it, and Rachel just midway through the conversation just stops talking to him and starts talking to Malika. But Wayne is like still talking to Rachel.
God, what am I doing?
The boys had spag bowl.
Trevor, none.
You don't even have
Trevor, none, darling. Darling.
No, baby. The boys had spag bowl.
What?
You know what spag bowl is?
Spaghetti.
Small appetizer.
Yeah, I saw him cooking.
Yes,
really?
It was good.
They
too.
had a
That's the first time I
sneaky
ever
spag
cooked like
bowl.
that.
Which is something that Wayne earlier that day was talking about with Amanda. But he didn't say Rachel's name. He just said that, like, some housemates, you start talking with them, then halfway through the conversation, they zone out and start talking about something else. Day 9. The housemates are waking up to some old-timey song from the 50s because the housemates are going back in time. So they put all the housemates in old-timey 50s, you know, they give the women dresses and they give the men these like old-time clothes or whatever. The men have to go off and work in the factory while the women get to stay home and clean the house and cook food for the men. But the real task is that the women will be also doing the factory jobs, the same ones that the men will be doing. The only difference is that the men don't know that they're in direct competition with the women, but the women, they do know. So while the women will like be working in the factories, Big Brother will be cooking all the food and cleaning the house to make it look like the women were doing it, so that the men don't get suspicious or whatever. So the first part of the 50s task is all the tasks, they all take place in this like conveyor belt room thing. It looks really cool. The first task is that they have to make a cake. So, you know, the men are in their conveyor belt room and the women are in their factory room thing. The cakes are coming down and they have to like make cake decoration. They have to make cake decorations and put the cakes in boxes. The first gender to do it quickly, the quickest will win. The winners of the cake making task between the men and the women were the women. The women do it in the quickest amount of time, and they box the most amount of cakes. The second part of the task is it's the same like conveyor belt kind of task, except it's recycling. They have to sort the recycling that's coming down. You know, metal, is it plastic, is it paper? You have to put it in the correct bins. The men won this round of the task, and it was like the men had sorted around 500 and something pieces of recycling, and the women had sorted like 400 something pieces of recycling. But like, who counted that? Who was counting that? Who was counting that? No one is counting that. Like, come on. In between each of the tasks, they would, like, sometimes the men would, like, they go on breaks, right? In between the tasks. Sometimes the men, they would have their breaks in the factory, and sometimes they would have their breaks back in the main house. So I'm like, the men they had to have known something was going on. Like, why can they go in the house sometimes, but they can't go in the house other times? You know what I'm saying? Like, they had to have known something was going on. So on one of the breaks that the men had, Courtney is asking the men what they thought about Donald Trump's comment that he made about grab her by the pussy or whatever. And, you know, they're all like, yeah, that stuff kind of happens sometimes. Genuine's like, yeah, that locker room talk, it does happen sometimes. And Courtney explains to them, you know, why that's wrong. But in this moment, I was kind of like, is this staged? Because the way they were sitting in the factory while they were on break, they were all facing the camera. It was just weird. Like, it was a very unnatural way that they were sitting, and like, it looked like a talk show, literally. Like, they had a table in between them. It just looked very staged. Maybe Big Brother told them to sit like that so that they were facing the camera. I mean, I don't know. It just looked, the whole conversation and the whole look of it just seemed a little staged. That's all. But, you know, these are important topics, so I don't know, whatever. So that's basically it for day 9. Yeah. Day 10, this is the second part of the factory task and the last day of the factory task. And this is the first time we kind of see like our first argument, it's between Courtney and Anne. Somehow they were at the dinner table and it got brought up Rachel was talking, of course. Rachel was talking about how, you know, this whole movement with all of these women coming forward, this whole Me Too movement thing. Rachel was calling it the reckoning, about how they're all speaking out about the men and how they, you know, been sexually abused and all this kind of stuff. And Anne goes, I call it the Woodbury or something like that. I don't know. I guess that's a historic event that happened. I don't know what it is, but she goes, I call it the Woodbury. And they're all like, oh, Anne, like, what are you talking about? And she's like, well, women have done just as much wrong in the world as men or something like that. And I was like, oh God, here we fucking go. Here we go. Like, Anne, no, like, no, just no, like right now. No, I totally disagree. I was totally on Courtney's side with that. Like right now, I mean, we're seeing it, like the Me Too, the Harvey Weinstein, the Donald Trumps, yeah, the Louis C.K., all this shit that's happening right now. You cannot sit here and be like, oh, well, they're only doing it to get back at men. It's like, no, and no, just no. So yeah, so that was like the first kind of argument, but like not really argument. Okay, so we get to the third part of the task, the final part of the task, which will determine which gender wins. Is the same conveyor belt, except they have to build toys and like paint the toys and shit. The winner will be announced later. So Big Brother, after the task, has everyone gather in the living room, and Big Brother reveals the secret that the women were in direct competition the whole time with the men. The men didn't really seem too surprised. Courtney knew. Courtney already knew, but yeah, they didn't really seem too surprised. I mean, this whole task was kind of sketch. But whatever. So the men end up winning the final car building task, and therefore the men won overall. So now the men have the power to nominate, I think, for the next eviction. I think that's what it is. They have the power now. So we get to the eviction, which takes place on the next day, but they showed in the main episode. We get to the eviction. India gets evicted. Yeah. She gets evicted. You know, she seemed sad. Emma seemed disappointed that she was the first to get evicted. You know, everyone kind of was. I think everyone was really betting on Johnny. I thought Johnny was going to get evicted too, because I mean, he's such the underdog. He's from the competition show Love Island. So I totally thought it was going to be Johnny who went, but it was India. India got evicted. Yeah, I don't really remember her interview with Emma that much. But I do know when she got out of the house, like the next day or maybe 2 days later, she went on that show, Good Morning Britain or Good Morning UK or whatever it's called, with Piers Morgan. Was it Piers Morgan's show? Was it? Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. She went on some fucking morning talk show, and she was talking about how one of the housemates, Rachel, threw her under the bus and was like, she said that she was the architect of her like failure, or was the architect of her demise in the house or something like that. And I was like, ooh, calling out Rachel. Day 11, the boys now have the power because they won the factory task. And the boys, the men, they give out the new duties, which women are going to be doing what, like who's the servant, who has to clean the bathrooms. I don't know. I don't know who was doing it before, and I don't know who's doing it now. They give out the new duties. Amanda gives Wayne a sponge bath. Amanda loves to fucking like touch people and like massage and like give people baths and like rub people down. She loves that kind of stuff. So then we see this interesting conversation. It's with Anne and Rachel and Courtney. I think Courtney asks Anne a question about, oh God, like condoms, HIV, Africa, something really serious, like really heavy. And that made me think, Courtney must have really like researched Anne before he came in this house, because Courtney like she's asking these really specific questions to Anne that like only you would ask if you had done research on Anne. So, you know, he's asking Anne about her opinions on African AIDS and condoms or something, and she tells him an answer or whatever, and then she goes on to say that, now I thought this was interesting because she's conservative, right? She's like really conservative, but like some of her political things that she stands behind are very, I would not say conservative. Like right here, she advocates for having condoms in like jails, having condoms in all male jails. Like that doesn't seem like a very conservative decision to me, you know? So some of her, like her religious beliefs are more conservative than her political beliefs or something. Like it's weird. She's really weird. She's really interesting. So then we see Amanda. And again, this is one of those moments I'm like, is this staged? She like out of the blue, Amanda has like this spot at this table where she's always giving these like really random little interviews. She did it first with Genuine right here, and then she does it later with Wayne. But she's asking Genuine about if he's ever experienced racism. Duh. Any person of color has experienced racism. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And he's telling a story about how, you know, he went somewhere and the people made him take off his hat, but they didn't make the white people take off his hat or something like that. Seemed kind of staged again. So then we get to the task. And it's which gender, men or women, are better communicators. And basically they have to get in like groups of 3. And one person has to look at a picture and they have to explain it to the second person, and that person can't hear, and then the person who can't hear is trying to like explain to the third person who can't see, and they have to paint what the first person is talking about. It's like telephone, charades, and Pictionary all mixed together. The women win this part of the task. I'm not exactly sure who was in each group, but yeah, the women win this part of the task. So then we see a little bit later, they're all getting ready for eviction. That happened the day before, that we saw in the day before's episode, but it's happening, you know, live for them in this episode. They're all getting ready for the eviction. Anna's having some trouble straightening her hair with the flat iron. We see the eviction. India gets evicted. It's a little bit later after the eviction, and you know, they're all drinking, and some people are out in the living room and some people are out in the garden, and Courtney and Andrew are out in the garden, just them two by themselves, and everyone else is in the living room like watching them and talking about them, and everyone has totally clocked, like everyone has totally clocked that Andrew is into Courtney. He's obviously fucking into Courtney, and everyone is so aware of it except for Andrew. Like all the guys are cool with it. Everyone's cool with it except Andrew. He's like, he can't really, you know, admit it yet, but he's fucking into Courtney. Day 12, Rachel is cooking breakfast for everyone. She's sneezing all over the food. It's disgusting.
Yeah, you do whatever. Sorry, can I have enough milk also for my coffee?
And this is where Wayne and Daniel get called into the diary room. And what they have to do is they have to make the shopping list. Since the men are now empowered, the men have to make the shopping list. And they chose Wayne and Daniel for some reason. And they only have an hour to do it. So, you know, they go into the men's bedroom. No, yeah, they go into the men's bedroom and they start making the list. And Courtney just comes in and completely takes over. She starts doing the list. Courtney and Andrew, they make the list or whatever. And Wayne is like salty about it. To be honest, I wouldn't want to make the shopping list either. Like, I do not want to have that kind of pressure if I mess something up. Like, I don't want people blaming me that they didn't get the right thing, or I got something that's like someone's allergic to and like someone could die. Like, I don't want to be fucking responsible for that. I thought Rachel was going to get in trouble for talking about this, but she, you know, was talking about the shopping list, and she had asked the boys if they had put Parmesan cheese on the list. And Courtney's like, it was on there, but we forgot to add it or something like that. You know, Courtney doesn't give a fuck. She's vegan. She doesn't eat cheese. She's like, yeah, it was on the list, but we forgot it or something like that. And Rachel kind of starts like, she's not fucking happy. She's like,
I'm nominating all of you for forgetting Parmesan.
No, but it's not on the list.
I thought for sure Rachel was going to get in trouble for talking about nominations, but she never got in trouble for it. I know it was just a joke, but people have joked before about nominations and they've still gotten in trouble. So I thought for sure she was going to get in trouble. We see Daniel a little bit later. He goes up to the diary room after Rachel cooked this meal. Daniel goes into the diary room and he starts fucking crying to Big Brother. He's just like, I miss my missus and this meal reminds me of my missus. And Really, Daniel? Like, you're such a bitch. You talk all this shit in front of the guys, and then you fucking crying in the dining room. What a bitch. And I wrote down, this is that fragile masculinity, that fragile masculinity that Courtney was talking about. So we get to the next part of the task in the task room after the, you know, painting charades thing. We get to the next part of the task, and it's still boys versus girls. Jess representing the girls and Andrew representing the boys. Basically, what they don't know is that their other housemates are in on it, and they have to, like, convince them to do stuff. Basically, they get points if they're gullible, basically, if that makes sense. If Jess and Andrew fall for it, then they get the points, basically. So they have them, like, spell words, do trivia, math, and all this kind of stuff incorrectly. They have them do the wrong yoga poses, all this stuff, and Jess's team wins. The women win, and what they win is a tea party. So they're gonna have a tea party. While they're at the tea party, Anne tries to lead a rebellion because she wants to give the food to the boys, like the leftover food and stuff. But Big Brother, she goes and talks to Big Brother. Big Brother's like, no, the rules are the rules, and she's like, well, I'm gonna break the rules, and she tries to lead a rebellion, but Rachel shuts it down. So there's no rebellion. So a little bit later, we see Ashley and Genuine. I don't remember the specifics. I just have here that Ashley acts like she doesn't like Genuine. Ashley acts like she doesn't like Genuine when he isn't in the room. But when he's in the room, she's all over him. But like when he's not there, she's like, no, we're just friends. I don't like him like that. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, Ashley, you clearly like him. Who cares? Who cares? Even Maggie was like, it's just us. Like, you can tell us. And she's like, no, I don't like him. Ashley, whatever, girl. Wayne smuggled out the booze with the boys, and they got him some cool points with the boys. It was funny, though, to see him, like, he had taken, like, a full, like, 12-pack of beer and put it in his pants and, like, smuggled it into the bathroom with the boys. Now we're moving on to day 13. I wrote down Marcus Bentley is so annoying in this episode. Marcus Bentley was getting on my fucking nerves, dude. Like, oh my god. Everything he was saying was, like, just trying to be funny. It was like, oh my god. So anyway, we get to the task, and it's with all these kids. It's called a creche. I learned a new word. It's called creche. Basically, it's a kindergarten, preschool type thing, where the men and the women are going head to head, and they have to have the kids stay on the spots. They think that's the task. They think the task is that they have to have the kids, you know, while all this distraction and fun stuff is going on in the room, they have to have the kids stay on the circle. But the real task is that the kids will, all they have to do is, like, all they're doing is voting on which housemate they like the most, basically. They're just voting on which housemate they like the most. But the one who got the most votes was Ashley, and some people say that was because of her unicorn onesie that she was wearing. So after that, Big Brother gathers the housemates on the couch to talk about someone breaking the rules. Someone had been discussing nominations. Who was it? It was none other than... Who was it? Oh, Wayne. His punishment is that he has to write lines. I will not discuss nominations. I don't know how many times, but... Then again, Marcus Bentley gets on the thing and he's like, Wayne has been writing lines for 5 minutes. That's a minute a line, people. And I'm like... Marcus, can you fucking stop with these jokes? Stop with these jokes, dude. They're not funny. You gotta stop. He has to stop. The eye roll of the episode. Andrew wants his ass waxed, right? Okay. First of all, Andrew is he's storylining with these fucking wax things, because why would he bring wax strips in the house specifically to wax his ass? Like, he knew this was going to be, like, a moment for him to be on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, Andrew goes and he asks Anne if Ashley can wax his ass, and Anne's like, no. I don't understand why they needed permission. I guess because they're doing the whole men are in power, so he can wax his own fucking ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can wax your own. No one has to wax your ass for you. You don't need permission from nobody. Just go wax your fucking ass. This is all a fucking storyline. It's so stupid. Yeah, Anne says no, and she gets really offended. She gets, like, really fucking offended. I don't know why, because Andrew didn't ask Anne. He asked Anne if Ashley could do it, not if Anne could wax his ass. The whole thing is dumb. Anne is being stupid for getting all mad, and Andrew's being dumb for this storyline, and Ashley is just whatever. So then the episode ends with Andrew bitching in the garden about something. I don't know what it was, but like I said, every night, I think the last shot every night is literally Andrew and Courtney in the garden talking shit. Less Courtney, just mostly Andrew just talking shit and trying to like size everyone up, you know. Day 14. We're just moving through it, aren't we? Genuine said he wouldn't kiss and tell. Courtney asked Genuine if he like hooked up with Ashley the night before, and Genuine said no, but he said if he did, he doesn't kiss and tell. I'm like, Genuine, you would so be telling all the boys up in here if you smashed. Like, come on, come on. Then I realized it's day 14. I have not talked about Shane L. like at all. Like like at all. I have not talked about Shane L. Shane L, where are you, dude? Like, where are you? The first time Shane is up for eviction, he better go the fuck home. He better be going home because he is so pointless. Where is Shane? Oh, so okay, so we get to nominations, right? So here we go. Are you sitting down? Are you paying attention? Andrew nominates Anne because she's conservative and her views are conservative. And he nominates Genuine because he made offensive comments. Now pay attention. He nominates Genuine. Andrew nominates Genuine because of offensive comments. John nominates Andrew because the bed, he says that he takes up too much room in the bed and he comes in late and wakes him up and shit. John also nominates Daniel because of his snoring. Wayne nominates Courtney because of the shopping list stuff. And Daniel... Oh, and Wayne also nominates Daniel because he said something to him when they were doing the factory challenge. Something about the boxes they had to make or something. Daniel nominates Anne because of the same, you know, she's conservative in her views and blah, 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 blah. Everyone nominates Anne because of the same reason, so... yeah. Daniel also nominates Andrew because he mooned and left a skid mark on the window. Shane L nominates Rachel because he said that she's like a school teacher and he's always having to like, he doesn't feel smart enough or something like that. She's always proving how smart she is, something like that. Shane also nominates Andrew because of his offensive comments, which is weird because Andrew nominated Genuine because of his offensive comments. Like, what the fuck? But then they get mad at Anne for the same thing. They get mad at Anne because Anne says that everyone else's comments are offensive, but then they're nominating other people because, I don't Johnny nominates Malika because she's grumpy, which I was like, I can totally see that. Malika has been fucking grumpy over these past few days. She's been grumpy. She always has her face up like this. She talks like this. She has been grumpy. She has been grumpy. I totally got why Johnny nominated Malika. And Johnny also nominated John Barnes. Genuine nominates Anne. He also nominates John because he said he cuts people off when he's speaking and he tries to like prove that he's smarter than people all the time. Courtney nominates Rachel, and Courtney also nominates Anne. Courtney nominates Rachel because of the Cheesegate, the whole Parmesan cheese shit. And you know, because of her opinions and they've been affecting people. That's it. The people who got the most votes were Anne, Andrew, Rachel, John, and Daniel. So those 5 will be up. Stay tuned, because not really. But I'm sorry, but if a man wins this fucking season, I'm going to go insane. Because this is supposed to be Year of the Women, and I know it's bullshit. It's not really Year of the Women. It was like 4 days of the women. But every time Emma says, welcome back to Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother 2018, Year of the Women. So I guess it's still Year of the Women. A woman better freaking win, dude. I'm going to be so mad if a woman does not win. A woman better fucking win. Anyway, that was, I digress. The housemates must be bored because they're making up games. They're playing this game of who's more likely to. They're fucking playing hide and go seek. Like, they must be so fucking bored. So yeah, the house is bored because Courtney's like, I'm gonna get the whole house in drag. There's nothing to do. So Courtney gets in drag and she gets some of the other housemates in drag. She gets Wayne in drag. She gets Mrs. Trunchbow. That's his name. And she gets, Ashley in drag, and Ashley looks so fucking pretty. Ashley is already like gorgeous. It's so weird that Ashley goes for Genuine because Ashley could literally have any man in that house, but she goes for Genuine. Hey, I mean, whatever.
Fabulous, darling.
And you approve?
No comment.
Anne doesn't approve. Anne doesn't approve of Anne doesn't approve of Ashley's look. Anne is just so fucking disapproving. Ashley looks she looks gorgeous. She's so beautiful. Anne's like, I don't approve. God, like, Anne, fuck. That is a stone cold bitch. Anna's a stone cold bitch. So then this is interesting. It's nighttime again. So guess who's in the garden? Andrew and Courtney. And they're talking about, it's not just Andrew, Courtney. It's Andrew, Courtney, John. Andrew, Courtney, Johnny, and Daniel are out in the garden. And they're talking kind of in code, I guess, about a housemate and how one of the housemates is not being herself. And they're like, yeah, we know she's not being herself because we've seen her on her show before. And Johnny says, yeah, we're all from the same circuit. That's what he said. He said, we're all from the same circuit. And the housemate that they were talking about is Jess. I guess Jess is not... She was on one of those shows acting crazy and drunk and slutty and shit. And I guess she's coming here and she's being a little angel. And they're like confused and they're like, she's not being herself. She's being fake, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, Daniel. Then they start talking about nominations. There was more of it on the live feed that they showed. They were just like straight up. Courtney was like, had this blanket and she kept lifting up her blanket and like drawing letters. Like that's like, that's talking about nominations. Like, so day 15 is the first day of a 2-day task, this driving school task. The housemates get in pairs pairs, and they all have to do these like driving themed things. The first task is that they put on these like car costume suits things, and they like get joined up together, and they have to drive around the house. You know, the house has been completely redesigned, and they have like roads all in the house and in the garden, and they have to get together and walk/drive or whatever on these roads and pay attention to the signals, the stoplights and the traffic signals and all this stuff. And I don't know how they're measuring. I don't know how they're measuring like who's fucking up and who's not fucking up. I don't know, but so they're walking around the house in these car outfits and stuff. The next part of the task is that they have to answer like car-related trivia questions and move forward up on this board, like a game board kind of thing. Andrew and Jess win that part of the task. And the next part of the task is a road trip. Oh, is that they're going on a road trip. But it's only supposed to last 100 seconds. And after 100 seconds, you are like hit a buzzer or something. After what you think is 100 seconds, you hit the buzzer. The housemates who come closest will win. Except, you know, there's all these distractions going on in the road. Because, you know, if you're driving, there's distractions, I guess. I don't know. So there's all these distractions happening. They're trying to drive and count to 100 without getting messed up. Ashley and John get the closest. They get to like, I think they get to 96 seconds, something like that. They get the closest, so they win. So later on, Big Brother gathers the housemate to once again tell them that they have broken the rules. Someone has been discussing nominations, and they refer back to the night before with Andrew, Shane, Daniel, and Johnny talking about when they were talking about nominations and stuff. This time, Big Brother's punishment is no hot water and no hair appliances. I think, did they say for 24 hours? I forgot how long, but it was like, it wasn't long. It was like yeah, I think it was 24 hours. It was like overnight or something. So it's nighttime. Andrew is out in the garden bitching about, I don't even know what he's bitching about. I wrote down Andrew's best bits are just going to be him in the garden bitching in that one time that he got in drag. Those are going to be his best bits. Him in the garden bitching and him in drag. That's it. Oh, so then we see this conversation. This is interesting. While Andrew is out in the garden and he's talking to Johnny and Courtney, and Johnny's like, if you win this task, like, you should not save yourself. It does not look good for it doesn't look good for the public. Like, you would be crazy if you save yourself. It will not be a smart move. He's trying to tell him, and Andrew's like, no, I'm totally gonna save myself. Like, I'm sorry, but if I'm given the opportunity, if we win, I'm gonna save myself. And Johnny's like, dude, you're dumb. Like, you're dumb. It's interesting because, you know, Johnny comes from the world of Love Island where he was like a villain, and I think Johnny kind of understands how to I think he understands what the public think about him. He's more aware, I think, about what the public think about him than Andrew, who came from The Bachelor. You know, there's no public opinion on that show. You just do whatever Donald Trump or whoever the Donald Trump over in the UK is. You just do whatever he says, and you know, you either get fired or you or you move on in the show. But there's no like public opinion part to that. Whereas like Love Island in this show, don't people like vote for you and shit? Like, isn't that how it works? So it was interesting seeing Johnny trying to tell Andrew, like, listen to me, do not save yourself, do not save yourself if you win. Which, spoiler alert, they don't win anyway, so who cares? Day 16, the final day of this review. So yeah, Rachel's in the diary room. She's talking about how she gets on better with the boys, the younger guys, than she does with the girls, because the boys, they keep it light, they keep it fun, they don't take things too seriously, and I guess the women are all grumpy and moany, and she doesn't like that. So she's talking about how she gets on with the boys. Malika, Courtney, and Jess are talking about Anne's comment. Anne's comment? What's Anne's comment? One of Anne's comments that she made. Oh, I guess Anne made a comment about something, and they're talking about her distaste for physical contact and like emotion and stuff like that. And the only thing I could think of was Raph when he said that last season, when Andrew like fucking sexually harassed Raph.
Stop! Sorry.
That's the only thing I could think about. And so finally, Courtney, thank you God, Courtney goes up to Anne and they have a conversation. Thank you. Finally, someone fucking went to her face. Courtney goes up to Anne and they start talking. And Courtney's like, you know, some of the housemates feel that, you know, your views are, you know, basically too old school and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, they're just talking and Anne's not really getting it because Courtney's trying to tell her, we can't be ourselves around you. We can't swear. We can't do all this stuff around you. And Anne's like, well, by the time you guys are doing all that, it's nighttime. When the booze comes out, I'm in bed and I don't have to deal with it and all this stuff. But it's like, Anne, what about the times when it's daytime? What about when the booze isn't out? What about when it's morning? So then we get to the conversation of waxing once again. What is it with waxing in the UK? Like they did it with the civilian season last season with Andrew getting his asshole waxed, and then this Andrew again getting his asshole waxed. It's like, what is it with waxing? And now they're talking about waxing again. So the next and final part of this driving task is the pairs. They're gonna get back in their pairs. And one person is going to be driving on this really windy, like go-kart kind of road. And the other person is going to have to like navigate to them audibly, like how to turn and when to turn and do all this stuff while the person driving is blindfolded. So they all go through their things. They're all doing it. Then we get to the end. The last people to go are Anne and Daniel. They fucking kill it. They kill it. They fucking... Anne's like, prepare to turn left. Prepare to turn left.
Prepare to bend left. Excellent. Bend left.
He's right. Like, she's giving the most precise directions to Daniel, her partner. And they kill it. They kill it. They gathered them all on the couch when it's all done. The people who took the longest were Amanda and Wayne. Or, yeah, Amanda and Wayne. Or was it Maggie and Wayne? No, it was Amanda and Wayne. They took 11 minutes and something seconds. Anne and Daniel did it in 1 minute and 40 fucking seconds. Oh my God. That was like so, they were like flying through the track. Jesus. So they won. And this means that overall, they won the whole shit. They won the whole car task bullshit thing. So what this means is that Anne and Daniel now have the opportunity to save one of the people who were up, including themselves. They could have saved themselves from eviction, but they, so that's what they do. They choose Daniel. I don't know why the fuck they chose Daniel. They could have chose John, Rachel, Anne, or who was the last person? Who was the other person up? Whoever the other person was, I can't remember. They could have saved any of the 5 people up, but they went with Daniel for some fucking reason. So now Daniel is in the house for another week, and they replaced Daniel with Maggie. So now Maggie and John. Maggie and John, Andrew and Rachel. I keep forgetting Andrew's up. Andrew's up too. I keep forgetting that. I would have loved to see Daniel up too, but what are you gonna do? Anne and Daniel have to reassign job roles. I don't fucking know. I don't know who was doing shit before. I don't know who's doing what now. I don't know. And they also switched up the bedrooms. And this fucking thing with Ashley, I don't really know what was going on, but like she was obvious. Okay, she was in the girls' room before. Now they're switching it up. I don't know who went where. She doesn't want to sleep in the bed with Genuine, but there is no other place for her to sleep or something like that. And so she goes and talks with Malika if she can sleep in her bed, but Malika's like, girl, I have a single bed. Like, we both cannot fit in that bed. And so they talk about it, and then Malika's like, okay, maybe we can get a double bed from someone. So they switch with someone. I don't know. It was just a whole mess of Ashley not wanting to sleep in the bed with Genuine. But I'm like, Ashley, let's be real. You are going to be in that bed with Genuine in fucking 3 seconds. Like, let's be real. And I think by the end of the episode, she was fucking in the bed with Genuine. So it's like, you made this whole deal for nothing. You know you were just going to be in the bed with Genuine. Come on. Anyway, Malika is in the diary room talking about how Anne and Rachel are both phony people. Malika's talking about how Rachel is a fake with Ashley, talking about how, you know, she's nice to Genuine because she likes the guys, but then she doesn't really approve of Genuine and Ashley's relationship or showmanship or whatever you want to call it. And she says that Anne is fake because I forgot why she said Anne was fake. I really can't fucking remember. But so, you know, Malika's ranting to Dapper Laughs and some of the other people in the house about Rachel and Anne. And Anne's names get brought up somehow. And then Daniel says, what? She ain't never sucked a dick before? Talking about Anne. And I'm like, this man needs to be fucking punched in the fucking teeth. Like, for real. This woman never sucked a dick before? Like, that's supposed to be humor? That's supposed to be fucking funny? Like, are you that fucking immature and dumb? He's supposed to have a fucking son? Role model to your son, huh? Pfft, man, fuck Daniel, dude. He needs to be fucking, I don't know. People in the house like him. They all fucking like him. And I'm like, oh, he needs to be up for eviction, dude. He needs to fucking leave. I can't believe he said that about Anne. What, she never sucked a dick before? Who would fucking... I would never say that about anyone that old, man, woman, no matter how mad I was at them. I would never fucking say that about someone that old. It's just total fucking disrespect. It's total disrespect. Okay, so the people up. By the time this video is even posted on YouTube, it's Saturday. I know, I'm full aware. It's Friday afternoon where I live now, but by the time this shit is edited together and uploaded, it's gonna be Saturday. So the people up, Maggie, Anne, John, Andrew, and Rachel. I think it's going to be a double eviction. Who do I want to go? Honestly, for real, I want the men to go because I want a woman to win the whole show. So, like, the longer the women can stay, the better. But, I'm sorry, John and Maggie, they can go. They can go for me. Rachel, I want to stay because I like her and Anne's little shit, their little banter, the little conflict that they have with each other. I like seeing that, and I like Anne, so I want Anne to stay. Andrew, I mean, I want him to go eventually, but as for right now, he can stay. John and Maggie are just fucking boring. They're sweet people. They seem so nice. I mean, but they gotta go. They gotta go. The one thing I'll say, Malika, girl, you're talking a lot of shit about people behind their backs, girl. You're talking a lot of shit. But, I mean, you have valid points. But Big Brother, we all know how Big Brother is going to play back those audio tapes, the audio files of Malika ranting about housemates back to the housemates at some point. And I can't wait. I can't wait until they play back that audio because I want Malika's shit to get... I want to see her fucking just go off, like... I didn't think she was going to be like that, but I totally thought she was going to be chill and just mellow and go with the flow, but Malika looks like she's about to start piping up. Maybe Big Brother can step in and, like, play the audio back, you know what I'm saying? That's basically it. This review is long as fuck. If you've made it this far, oh my god, like, I can't, like, I mean, thank you. Like, I can't believe you watched this long-ass video. Thank you for watching. Make sure you check out I don't know whether to say Big Brother on Blast or BB on Blast. Check out, they just made a YouTube channel, so like subscribe to their YouTube page. I'll put a link down in the description. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Subscribe to them. Subscribe to me. Shit, subscribe to me. Yeah. Thanks for watching.